Hello, everybody. So we're going to continue with Chapter 6 of the third grade textbook. We're on Lesson 6.6, Model with Arrays. And our essential question for the day that you should be able to answer by the end of the lesson is, how can you use arrays to solve division problems? And so we're on page 241 of the third grade textbook. And so the materials that we need today, it calls for square tiles. I'm going to use counters myself. You really, anything can be used to represent the array. Um, they should just be similar items. And so to start, we're going to count out 30 tiles, and we're going to make an array to find how many rows of 5 are in 30. So we've worked with arrays when we were doing multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a row of 5 tiles. Okay, so there we have 5. And we're going to keep making rows of 5 until we've used all 30 of our tiles. All right, so that's 2 rows of 5. We're at 10. Three rows of 5, 15. I do know that 15 is half of 30, so it should be 6 rows of 5. And as I think about that in my head, it makes sense because 6 times 5 is 30. So I should be able to make 6 rows of 5. All right, so now we have 5 rows of 5. And now we have 6 rows of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a 6 by 5 array. So how many rows of 5 did we make? We made 6. Explain how you used the tiles to find the number of rows in 30. Counted out a row of 5. And continued adding rows until I reached 30. What multiplication problem could we write for the array? Well, it was 6 rows of 5. So how do you use an array to find how many rows of 6 are in 30? So this time we would count out rows of 6 until I reach 30. It will be 5 rows of 6. Okay. So if I count out rows of 6, it would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So 5 rows of 6. And up here it would have been 6 rows of 5 for the 30. All right, so let's continue on to page 242. All right, we can write a division. Let me move my materials, my math tools. All right, you can write a division equation to show how many rows of 5 are in 30. Show the array you made in the investigate by completing the drawing below. All right, so we had how many rows of 5? We had 6 rows of 5. So that's 2 rows, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 5. Okay, so 30 divided by 5 is 6. All right, count out 24 tiles. Make an array with the same number of tiles in 4 rows. Okay, so here we're going to put out 4 rows first. Okay, and we're going to keep adding to the rows until we've used all 24. So we're going to add 1 to each row until we've used all 24. So there's 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Okay, so we have 4 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What division equation can we write for your array? It was 24 divided by 4 equals 6. Number 1, use square tiles to make an array. How many rows of 3 are in 18? How many rows of 3? All right, so there's 1 row of 3. 2 rows of 3 is 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 3. How many rows of 6 are in 12? Okay, so there's 1 row of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2 rows. How many rows of 7 are in 21? There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 3 rows of 7. How many rows of 8 are in 32? Eight, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 4 rows of 8. Okay, and so let's look at 1 through 4. So we know 6 rows of 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 2 rows of 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 3 rows of 7. Same as saying 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 4 rows of 8. Same as 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 divided by 8 is 4. All right, make an array, then write a division equation. 25 tiles in 5 rows. Okay, so we're going to make our 5 rows, and we're going to keep adding to the rows until we get to 25. 10, 15, 20, 25. So 25 divided by 5 rows. How much is in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, that would make sense. 5 rows of 5 would be 25. 14 tiles in 2 rows. Okay, so there's our 2 rows. And we're going to keep adding to the rows until we get to 14. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 14 divided by 2 equals, how much do we have in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that would make sense. 2 times 7 is 14. 28 tiles in 4 rows. All right, so there's our 4 rows, and we keep adding to the rows until we get to 28. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Okay, so 28 divided by 4 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in each row. 27 tiles in 9 rows. All right, so we've drawn 9 rows. Keep adding to the rows until you get to 27. All right, there's 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27. 27 divided by 9 rows will give us 3 tiles in each row. Number 9. Tell how to use an array to find how many rows of 8 are in 40. How many rows of 8? Okay, make 8 rows of 1 tile. Then keep adding to each row until you reach 40. It will be 8 rows of 5. Show 2 ways you can make an array with tiles for 18 divided by 6. Shade squares on the grid to record the arrays. All right, so we can have 6 rows, or we can have 6 in each row. So let's start with 6 rows. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've got 6 rows. How many can I put in each row? 6, that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so I could have a 6 by 3, or I can have 6 in each row. All right, so let's see what that would look like if I put 6 in each row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12, 18. So we have 3 rows of 6, or we have 6 rows of 3. 244. Thomas has 28 tomato plants, or tomato seedlings, to plant in his garden. He wants to plant 4 seedlings in each row. How many rows of tomato seedlings will Thomas plant? So we have 28 tomato seedlings. And he's going to put 4 of those in each row. How many rows of tomato seedlings will he plant? What do I need to find? How many rows? Will Thomas plant? What operation could you use to solve the problem? Well, we're going to say division for this. It is what we're working on. I could subtract. I could use repeated subtraction. Technically, I could also multiply. I could say 4 seedlings in a row. 4 times what would get me 28? But I'm going to use division. Draw an array to find the number of rows of seedlings. Okay, so you're going to put 4 seedlings in each row. All right, so there's one row of 4. I want to keep adding rows of 4 until we get to 28. That's 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I'm going to go ahead and add the last one up at the top. 6, 27, 28. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of 4. So what is another way you could have solved the problem? Okay, so like I said, we could have multiplied, and we could have said 4 times what is 28. I could have gone 28 take away 4 is 24. 24 take away 4 is 20. 20 take away 4 is 16. 16 take away 4 is 12. 12 take away 4 is 8. 8 take away 4 is 4. 4 take away 4 is 0. I subtracted 4 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So Thomas has 28 tomato seedlings. He wants to plant 4 seedlings in each row. So Thomas will plant 7 rows. Number 12. There were 20 plants sold at a store on Saturday and 30 plants sold at a store on Sunday. Customers bought 5 plants each. How many customers in all bought the plants? 20 plants Saturday, 30 plants Sunday. Each customer bought 5. So first, let's just figure out how many plants were sold over the 2 days. So 30 plus 20. Well, 30 plus 20 is 50, correct? All right, so now each customer bought 5 plants. So if we have a row of 5 to represent a customer, okay, so there's one customer of 5. Well, let's just keep adding rows of 5 until we get to 50. There's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows of 5. So there were 10 customers. 50 divided by 5 equals 10. And number 13. Paige walked her dog 15 times in 5 days. She walked him the same number of times each day. How many times did Paige walk her dog each day? Shade squares to make an array to model the problem. So we have 15 total times. We have 5 days. We have to find how many times she walked her dog each day. So we can make the rows represent the days. Okay, so there's 5 days. And we're going to keep adding to the days until we get to 15. There's 10. There's 15. So we have 5 days of 3. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. So she walked the dog 3 times each day. Okay, so that's it for lesson 6.6. The next time we meet, we'll be talking about how multiplication and division relate to each other. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.